What if I told you that your greatest strength isn't in fighting back, but in doing nothing at all? In a world that constantly pushes, pulls, and provokes you, we're taught to react, to defend, to speak louder, to win. But what if the real power lies in stillness? Today you'll hear a story, not just any story, but one that has the power to shift the way you move through life. A true lesson about control without force, calm in the face of chaos. And what happens when a man sits still as a tiger roars inches from his face? This isn't just about a monk, and it's not just about a tiger. It's about you, your triggers, your emotions, and the unseen power you hold when you stop reacting to everything around you. Stay with me until the end, because once you hear this story, you'll never see your emotions the same way again. In the mountains of northern India, where the sky touches the forest and the silence echoes louder than the wind, there lived a monk named Tenzin. Tenzin was not the oldest monk, not the strongest, and certainly not the most famous, but he was the most peaceful. They said you could sit beside him for hours and feel your heartbeat soften. He never rushed, he never shouted. He walked through life like a leaf floating on water, untouched, unbothered, unbelievably still. People from faraway lands came to ask him questions. "Master Tenzin," they would say, "how do I silence my anger? How do I stop reacting to things that hurt me? How do I find peace in a world that never stops roaring?" And Tenzin would smile gently and say, "You do not silence a storm by shouting at it. You become so still, the storm has nothing to hit." One morning, as the dew still clung to the grass and the birds sang songs only the trees could understand, Tenzin went deeper into the forest. He didn't bring food, he didn't bring water, he brought only one thing, his breath. He sat beneath a Bodhi tree, the same kind of tree the Buddha once sat under. His back straight, eyes closed, palms resting gently on his knees. And then, the forest changed. The birds stopped singing, the wind paused mid-breath. Even the leaves held their whispers. From the shadows emerged a tiger, not a myth, not a metaphor. A real tiger, strong, wild, untamed, its eyes sharp, its fur glistening with morning mist. Its muscles moved like water beneath its skin. The tiger was not angry. It was simply what it was, untamed nature. But when it saw Tenzin, still, unmoved, something stirred inside it. It let out a roar so deep, so raw, it made the air tremble. The forest froze. Small animals scattered. Even the trees seemed to flinch. But Tenzin didn't move. He didn't scream. He didn't run. He didn't open his eyes. He just breathed. In and out. In and out. The tiger circled him, growled, showed its teeth, nudged him with its nose. Still nothing. It roared again, louder this time, a sound that could pierce bone. Tenzin opened his eyes, softly, calmly. He looked into the tiger's eyes, not with fear, but with deep, gentle awareness. And then he said, in a voice quieter than the wind, "Even a storm calms when it finds nothing to push against." The tiger stopped growling. Its tail stopped swaying. It sat, then laid down, right beside the monk. Minutes passed, maybe hours, maybe lifetimes. The wild beast became still. Eventually, the tiger stood, looked at Tenzin one last time, and walked back into the trees. Not defeated, transformed. The lesson: we live in a world full of tigers, angry people, unfair moments, sudden betrayal, financial stress, loneliness, loss, rejection, unanswered prayers, and all of it wants one thing from you: a reaction. Because if it can make you react, it can control you. If it can make you flinch, it wins. If it can pull you out of your center, even for a second, it owns your power. But here's what the monk teaches us. When you don't react, you remain powerful. When you don't react, you stay in control. When you don't react, the tiger doesn't disappear, it transforms. Because you didn't feed its fire. You became the space where the fire could not breathe. How to control your emotions like the monk. You don't need to sit under a tree for years. You don't need to wear robes or escape to the mountains. You just need to practice presence. Here are 3 ways to begin. 1. Pause before you react. The world moves fast, but wisdom waits. Next time someone says something triggering, take 3 slow breaths before speaking. You'll be shocked how many battles are won by doing nothing. 2. Identify the emotion. Don't become it. Instead of saying, I am angry, say, I feel anger. There's a big difference. One means you are the emotion, the other means you have the emotion, and what you have, you can let go. 3. Sit with it. Every time you sit in stillness, even for just 5 minutes, you train your mind to stop chasing tigers. You start letting them pass. Meditation isn't about escaping life. It's about meeting it differently. How this changes your life: when you learn the power of stillness, you gain more than peace. You gain freedom. Freedom from reacting to every opinion. Freedom from being controlled by people who don't even know your heart. Freedom from your own emotional storms. And when you're free on the inside, you enjoy life more. Because you're no longer trying to control the world. You're mastering the only thing you were ever meant to control: yourself. Be like Tenzin, not cold, not emotionless, but aware, steady, deep, a peaceful storm that cannot be shaken. Let the world roar. You just breathe.